Hey guys, so we're back at the Asrock booth and we're going to be covering the Intel X299 platform, all the boards that they've got. Really nice variety already being showcased here. We'll start off with this board, which is the X299 Professional Gaming i9. Now again, just like the X399 Professional Gaming, this thing is loaded to the gills. It's got pretty much the same feature set, but I'm going to walk you through it anyways. So you've got your 10 gigabit Ethernet, you've got your dual Intel gigabit Ethernet right there, you've got multiple USB 3 ports, you've got Type C 3.1, Type A 3.1, multiple 3.0s, PS2, USB 2, which is good to see. I mean, I love seeing legacy USB 2 connectors on motherboards. It's a shame they don't come on all of them, including PS2, but yeah, it's great to see them on this board. 10 gigabit guys, 10 gigabit built in, so that's really good to see. You've got quad channel memory support, obviously. You've got the capability to add 3 M.2 drives for RAID. You've got 10 SATA ports right here. You've got a 24-pin power connector, one 8-pin power connector there. I'm a little surprised that there isn't another 4-pin or another 8-pin power connector, but I guess that's enough. This board is loaded to the gills in terms of phases. I can actually, well, there's at least 12 phases here, so lots and lots of power phases for this board. Also, what we have on this board that's very nice is the fact that you've got 4 PCIe X16 slots, and all of them are reinforced, so you've got no problem with heavy-duty graphic cards. One of them is actually wired for X8, 3 of them are wired for X16, so that's the way the board's been set up. Of course, M.2 also uses additional bandwidth, so yeah, that's what they've done. This heatsink right here, I'm actually willing to wager a bet, is the 10 gigabit Ethernet controller that needs its own cooling, so I think that's where the controller sits. Also, next up from Asrock for their X299 will be the X299 Taichi. So now this is a continuation of their Taichi lineup. It's a name that's already become synonymous with very high-end boards. So what we have again is 3 M.2 slots, the same layout with the PCIe. Both these boards are actually pretty much similar in terms of layout and feature set. The only difference is this guy does not have 10G Ethernet. All it has is dual Intel gigabit LAN. The USB 2 ports and the Wi-Fi and all of that is pretty much the same on both the boards, the Professional Gaming and the Taichi. So PS2, USB 2, lots of USB 3, 3.1, 3.1 Type C, all of that is a given. We also have a USB 3 header right here. We have 2 USB 2 headers. You have your debug LED right here, and 10 SATA ports. Of course, we have a right-angled USB 3.0 header as well. Very good to see. Helps with cable management again. And 10 SATA ports. So that's pretty much packed to the gills, guys. Apart from not having 10 gigabit Ethernet, these two boards are pretty much the same. Of course, the aesthetics are a little different. They've got the Taichi logo, but it's been done in matte black this time, not in white. Next up from them, it's a little bit lower in their lineup, but it's called the X299 Gaming K6. So the similarities are still there, except if you can see, there's 3 reinforced slots. So this is for only triple card, not for quad SLI configs or for quad GPU. This is this slot right here is wired for X4, so you don't want to be putting a GPU there. So these slots are wired for X16, and 3 GPUs, absolutely no problem. The I/O layout is a little bit different from the earlier board. There's slightly fewer ports, but we still have PS2, we still have USB 2 ports. We have 4 ports of USB 3. We have 4 ports of 3.1, and one of them is Type C. So plenty of expansion right there. You've got more than enough capability to add whatever you want. One single 8-pin power connector again, not 2. Seems to be enough for the new Intel CPUs. So yeah, one 8-pin is more than enough, it seems. So this is the basic layout of the X299 Gaming K6. Pretty much the same, but it's also been, they've cut down in places where you don't need that much expansion. Next up is a board that's actually stolen my heart. This is a board that I truly want to get my hands on. This is the X299 Mini ITX AC. this has the makings of an absolute portable monstrosity. So you've got the capability to plug in, up to 18 cores in here, quad channel memory. Although this is SODIMM, your laptop, your laptop RAM form factor. For those who don't know what SODIMM means, it's got the X299 chipset right there, one X16 slot. But this is beautiful to see. So this is like it's basically a riser card that they plugged in, and that has six SATA. It's got USB 3 and another riser card on this side that will hold one M.2 drive right here as well. So fully featured board. You can have up to 64 gigs of memory. You can have six hard drives. You can have an M.2, dual Intel gigabit Ethernet. I would have loved to see 10G on here, but I don't think there's space to put the controller. Also, they've got dual band Wi-Fi. They've got one Type-C 3.1, one Type-A 3.1, and 4 USB 3.0s. So very, very, very nice board for X299 and Mini ITX. I haven't seen a Mini ITX X299 board yet, but this thing has the makings of a really, really powerful tiny machine. Now, next up is, I think, the board that's going to be fighting for the crown for the best OC board out there for X299 and for Intel. This is the legendary X299 OC formula, and I'm saying legendary because I know it's going to be a legendary board. Anything that Nixie touches and they play with, it's going to be legendary for overclocking. Now, the cool thing about this board is it's only got four memory slots. So you do have quad channel, but it's only 4 DIMMs, unlike the other boards that have 8. So this lets you clock memory much higher than most boards. And if you go by Asrock's history, they've been absolute monsters at clocking memory, and I expect no different with this board. Now, if you notice one really cool thing, another 4-pin power connector has made its appearance here, unlike the other boards. So one 8-pin, one 4-pin, this board is meant to be pushed hard. Lots and lots of power being given to your CPU. You've got your start, reset, your overclock buttons right there. You've got your safe mode and all of those, BIOS, all of that stuff right there, direct BIOS, all of that. You've got your debug LED. You've got 6 SATA ports. I mean, for an OC board, you don't really need more, so that's not really an issue on this board. But as a board, it's magnificent. Now you've got 5 PCIe. All of these, apart from the bottom one and this one, are wired for X16. These two are X8. And USB 3.1 header, USB 3 header. Well, actually, we do have 8 SATA. I missed this one. We do have 8 SATA ports. We have right-angled additional 6-pin PCIe power connector as well for power-hungry cards and stuff. And when you're benching hard, you want to give the board additional power. 24-pin power as usual. Just all in all, this is going to be one of the most legendary boards for the X299 platform. There's no doubt about it. So between this and the Asus Rampage 6 Apex, game on. For expansion and I/O, the board has PS2. No overclocking board should come without PS2. You should not omit this when talking overclocking boards. You've got your clear CMOS. You've got your Wi-Fi AC. You've got 3.1 Type-C, 3.1 Type-A, and you've got four USB 3.0s as well. So all in all, very, very nice feature set. Again, you can very easily run this as your main system as well. If you don't need more than 64 gigs of memory, no problem at all. You can run this as your main system, which is something I might just do. Also, what I really, really again like about this board is the fact that they've already laid it out beautifully for overclocking. The socket isn't very, very crowded. You can insulate this very easily. There's lots of free space here as well. Also, you can put 2 M.2 drives in here, not 3, 2, but that's good enough as well. Not like you want to be putting 3 and 4 of your M.2 drives when you're overclocking anyway. So more than enough right there. And the last board in the lineup is the X299 Killer. So this is basically, I'd say, this is the beginning of their entire lineup. It's one of their entry-level boards. I mean, there is no entry-level with X299, but it's their entry-level X299 board. Quad channel memory, single 8-pin power. You've got your 24-pin here. You've got your USB 3.0 header here. No USB 3.1 header. The space is there, but it's not been put. You've got three USB 3 headers down there, and you've got 10 SATA ports. But the cool thing is you've got 3 M.2 drives here versus 2 on the OC formula. So 3 M.2s, 8 memory DIMMs, quad channel, so you can support 128 gigs, and lots and lots of other expansion in terms of your fan headers and your USB and stuff like that. But this is, I'd say, this board is their entry-level board for X299. Again, if you look at the I/O, I don't know if you can get a clear view of the I/O, but we have USB 3.1, Type-C, Type-A, good to see. One thing I would have loved to have seen across the board on all of these systems is inbuilt Thunderbolt, at least on the premium boards. I know I'm asking for much, but today you expect to see Thunderbolt 3.0 with all the amount of devices that are coming. But the capability is there. So you've got the Thunderbolt header, you can buy the Thunderbolt card and you can plug that in. That's there, but I would have just loved to see maybe 1 or 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports built on, at least in a board like this, which is the ultra high-end board. But yeah, you've got 3.1 Type-C, you've got USB 2, you've got PS2, dual band Wi-Fi, and that's your clear CMOS button right there. So yeah, all in all, a very well laid out board, more than enough for basic use and for most people. 10 SATA drives, so enough storage right there. And that just about wraps up our coverage of the Asrock booth and the Intel X299 platform.